Welcome, welcome, welcome to Leading Life. Today, Brennan, you explain the topic. It's your topic.
Today, we're going to talk about the know-it-all syndrome, something that Cameron deals with every single day.
Ouch.
Welcome to Leading Life, the show all about living to the fullest and leading life on your terms.
You will learn tips, tools, and strategies for achieving total personal transformation.
I'm Bren.
And I'm
Cameron,
Cam.
I'm telling
This
you, I
is
literally can't turn my
Leading Life.
What up? 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 Brennan, what is this? What is this insult you speak of?
This insult. Well, you think I'm automatically insulting you? I kind of am, I guess. That was kind of an insult, bro. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
You know what? You're not forgiven. Go ahead.
I love you, man. What do you mean I'm not forgiving? You're just going to not forgive me?
Yeah, I'm messing with you. Okay, what is today about? What are we talking about?
Well, before we get into the show, Cam, we got to tell people about ourselves. We got to get a little personal with the people.
Do we though? Do we? Okay, so last night or yesterday we talked about ego, right? We talked about ego. We talked about your mind controlling itself when you should be the one controlling your mind. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check that out. Great episode. Confusing episode, but great episode. Since then, I meditated 2 hours again and completely blew my mind. I still highly recommend you just take a 2 hour chunk out of your life and try it more than once. Like, do it for at least 2 days, because I'm on day 2. I'm gonna do it after this, or later tonight after this podcast. I'm gonna do it again. But I'm just finding out more about myself, and you don't find out about yourself. You don't get to know yourself when you're busy, when you're constantly busy with stuff. So just slow down, forget about everything, and just be alone with yourself. And it's amazing. So once I'm done this challenge, we're going to have an episode on meditation. We're going to talk in depth about meditation. I just want to be a quote unquote expert at it first. Like, I want to live the intense, in-depth 2 hour meditations before I even talk about it. So that's my side of the story. How are you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. What have I been focusing on yesterday? Well, after we got off the call, had Andrea come over, and I think Dave came over. Yeah, we did some work. We got some stuff done, some super secret projects we're working on. Lots of writing blog posts, writing books, writing music. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I love how you said you took a 2 hour nap today, and Bears in the comments says, or you said you had 2 hour meditation. Bear says he had a 2 hour nap. I did too. Go Bears.
Yeah,
No, but
right.
that's
Yeah, right.
meditation sounds crazy. I can't even imagine. Someday though, I'll do it. I'll do it. Actually, Cam, me and you, we talked about doing a fast this year, like a 5 day or like a 7 day fast. We still need to do that, dude.
I do want to do that. I just want to do it with clean water. That's my only my only condition. But dude, you said someday you will meditate. Correction. Now you will meditate, because you only live now. You don't live in someday, this random fantasy land that doesn't exist in your mind. You only live
Bro,
today. So you can, when you say someday, it's never going to happen. When you say someday I'm going to quit smoking, never going to happen. When you say someday I'm going to read the next chapter of that book, it's probably never going to happen. Tony Robbins says when you set a goal, you do at least a tiny little thing towards its attainment. Tiny little thing. And that just tells your brain that you're not joking around, that you're not bullshitting. So sorry for calling you out, bro. What's this topic about?
thank you, Master Yoda, for the. All right, look. Today I want to talk about the know-it-all syndrome. It's something I've dealt with for a big chunk of my life. It's something I know Cameron has dealt with, and I'm sure you guys have dealt with it too. And basically, the know-it-all syndrome, it's basically what it sounds like, man. It's like you think you know it all. Big chunk of my think you've got all the answers. No matter who it is, what's happening in life, whatever, you just can't learn. You already know everything. Why would you even bother learning? This is a huge trap that I've been into myself, man. Especially, like, I find this a lot with teenagers. And I only say this because I was a teenager growing up and I thought I knew it all. And a lot of the people around me thought they knew it all too. It's just like we've got it, you're 16, 17, 18 years old. You think you've already got it all figured out. And that what happens there is it actually shuts you down from any type of growth, any type of learning, any type of imagination or creativity, or just like just even finding what your passion is. Like I find so many people, that's one of the main questions I get asked is like, how do I find my passion? How do I find my purpose? How do I figure out what I'm going to do in life? Like, how do I figure out what I'm good at, what I love? And it's such an interesting question to get, because like I find for myself personally, it was easy to find those things out. Like at a young age, 9 years old, I knew I wanted to play music for the rest of my life. I didn't know exactly how. I didn't know if I was going to play music in a band. I didn't know if I was going to play music alone. I didn't know if I was going to be an orchestrator guy in like an orchestra or something. No, I just knew I wanted music, right? I kind of had the essence of what I wanted. But so many people, they just don't know. And it breaks my heart, man, because I like, that's got to kind of suck for you. But I mean, it's depends on your mindset, right? It could totally suck, but it could totally be exciting because you don't have any preconceived, like, this is what I'm going to do with my life ideas. You just you could go out there and do anything. Like, that's what's so cool about today is we got the internet, we've got all this stuff. So you could pretty much go pursue any career path, do just about anything if you live in our society, Canada's society. But what happens is people get caught in the trap of thinking that they already know it all, or thinking that they already have it figured out, or thinking that, I'm just going to do exactly what I'm told. I'm going to do what my parents told me because I know they're right. I'm going to do what my teacher told me because I know he's right. I'm going to do what my buddy told me because I know he's right. Instead of really searching within and figuring out what it is that's most important to you. So Cam, man, we're going to talk about what is the know-it-all syndrome, why it's killing you, and how to break out of that so that you could go on to do awesome things, find out what your passion is, find out what your purpose is, love, enjoy your life, serve the world, like do something that's just amazing. And that's what we're on today, Cam. How's that sound?
Sounds good, man. Good. I have to say one thing, though, because you mentioned that people can do anything. I'm going to be a pessimist and say, no, you can't do anything. And this isn't just coming from me. This is coming from, like, hundreds of entrepreneurs I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, and they all say the same thing. Do what you're passionate about. If you don't have passion in it, then you cannot accomplish it 100%. I wrote it in the book that we're writing right now. I guess we didn't even tell anybody we're writing a book, did we? I don't know. We're writing books.
You know what, dude? We've said like on multiple occasions, like we're writing books, and like nobody really knows. But like, okay. Yeah, there'll be announcements soon. Don't worry about it.
Announcements soon. So yeah, I wrote in the book, like, you can't take leaps of faith if you don't have You can't take leaps of faith if you don't have faith in yourself. If you don't have faith in what you're doing, if you don't have passion for what you're doing, then it's you'll never follow through, man. Your brain's gonna be like, no, this is uncomfortable. I don't like this. Unless you're playing it safe and like you're working a job or something like that. But like, don't expect to be a billionaire entrepreneur if you're not passionate about it. And this isn't coming from me, a guy who lives in his parents' basement. This is coming from like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all these people. They always say, do what you're passionate about. And I cannot stress that enough. Uh-oh, something's happening in the Bren Dubé household. Anyways, yeah, do what you're passionate about. But this know-it-all syndrome, I totally agree. Once I finally started learning, because like when you go to school and stuff, you're learning things that you don't even enjoy. Oh, listen to this, guys. This is my ringtone. It's the Austin Powers theme song. See, I always have a ringtone that makes me happy, so my ringtone is the Austin Powers theme song. Anyways, when you're in high school, they teach you things you really don't care about, like A plus B equals math that I'm never going to use in my life. The annual rainfall in Brazil. They teach you about just things that aren't useful. But once I started like looking at the right side of the internet, because there's some bad sides to the internet, but once I started looking at the right side of the internet, how to be successful, all this personal development stuff, I realized how little I actually knew.
Yeah, man. So sorry about that. I had somebody show up to the door, and then Daya the dog got all super pumped, and she's like, "Who's at the door? Who's at the door?" Sorry, come here, Daya. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold on to her for a little bit while we do this podcast, okay? So look, man, the know-it-all syndrome. I grew up, like Cam was saying, I grew up in high school thinking that I pretty much knew it all. I had it all figured out. I knew what I wanted to do in life. I was going to be in this rock band. I was going to work at this dead-end job for a couple years until I made enough money to be a rock star. Until the record label came along and saved my life, basically. And none of that happened. It wasn't until I got into this personal development material, started reading books, watching YouTube videos, just learning new things, that I discovered that I don't know shit. Like I didn't know anything about controlling my thoughts. I didn't know anything about controlling my emotions. I didn't know anything about setting goals. I didn't know anything about like dealing with people or making friends or influencing people, persuading people. I didn't know anything about working as a team. I didn't know anything about love. I didn't know anything about family. I didn't know anything about spirituality. There were so many things that I thought I had all figured out, until I realized I didn't know anything. And the most beautiful thing about the know-it-all syndrome, the most beautiful thing about learning is the more you learn, the more you realize you actually don't know anything. Like the more that I would dive into this personal development material, I'd read a chapter on faith, for example, and I'd learn a bunch of stuff about having faith in myself and the power of faith and how I could use faith to make my life better. And then guess what happens next? I have a million other questions. And now I thought I knew all this stuff about faith when really all it did was lead to me having more questions about faith. And this might sound, how do you call it? This might sound like annoying or difficult to people because it's like, what? Like I just learned and now you're telling me I have to learn more? Yeah, exactly. Like you just learned all this stuff. And it's beautiful because all this stuff is just going to lead you down different paths where you're going to learn even more things. And every time you learn something new and you apply it, like you're not just learning, like what happens on social media is we're scrolling through social media all day, or we're clicking stuff. We're on YouTube watching videos all day. And like, we're just blasting our minds with all this information, but we don't master any of it, or we don't retain any of it. We just kind of do all this stuff. Well, what I'm talking about is mastering something like this chapter on faith that I read in Think and Grow Rich. I'd read that chapter over and over and over again until I really got it. And then I go on YouTube and research other ways and research other things about it and learn more and dive into different ideas and different tips. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, Kim? Because I know you have experience with this.
Yeah, dude, because like every time you click on a video, there's a whole new list of recommended videos. And then you just like, it's the way I look at it is kind of like picture like a circle. And this is the outer rim is like how much you can learn. And then the more you learn, the bigger the circle gets, and the bigger the circle is. And then you have to like branch out even more. Like the bigger the observable circle is, the more space there is to look at. And it's just like an expanding bubble, but it's awesome. It's like the best feeling. It's just learning things that you love, learning things that you're passionate about. I remember we had an episode on confidence a while ago, and I mentioned that you want to be confident in something, like if you're trying to get confident in sports or something, you have to really love it. Like I said earlier in the podcast, you have to do what you're passionate about, because when you're passionate about it, you don't even think about learning. It's just like it's already there. Like you are already obsessed. You don't even think of it as learning like you would in school. It's like I am just like diving in. It's fun. Like I love this, and that's what you want. You want to be so involved in a subject where it's more like play for you than it is work to learn this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we talked about what is the know-it-all syndrome. What is it? It's like you thinking you know everything. And so you shut yourself down from learning. You shut yourself down from having an imagination or any type of creativity or trying something new or stepping out of your comfort zone. That's what it is. Okay. Why do we want to get rid of this know-it-all syndrome? Because without it, you'll never learn. You'll never grow. You'll never be happy. Like, look, happiness comes from progress. I don't care who you are, what it says. Like happiness, when you make progress in something, whether it be in your health, whether it be in your connection with yourself or with your friends, whether it be just enjoying yourself or just, connecting in this present moment, making progress makes you happy. And so if you don't grow, if you don't learn, if you don't continue to expand your mind or expand your body or whatever, expand your spirit, you're not going to be truly fulfilled or truly happy. And we're going to give you a bunch of different ways on how you could get rid of this know-it-all syndrome. And the first thing we talked about is just realize that like you will never, ever, ever, ever know it all. It's like impossible. And coming from me, dude, I'm that guy who says nothing's impossible. Literally, no, yeah, stop. Freaking dog. But that's what I'm saying is I'm the guy who says nothing's impossible, right? But I think like we have so much information coming at us every day. Like that, even just there's like 70, 80, 100 hours of stuff uploaded to YouTube every single like minute. There's like, I don't even know if that's a real statistic. There's crazy stuff happening every day.
It's 100 hours of YouTube every minute.
100 hours of YouTube every single minute, like 25, what is it, 22.5 billion or something crazy like that, Facebook posts per day. Insane, an insane amount of stuff and information coming at us. We can't consume it all. And what happens is, because there's so much of it, we try. It's like, man, I want to learn this. I want to get into this. And stuff piques our interest. There's a clickbait video and you're like, wow, I really want to see what that's all about. Realize that you can't really know it all. You never will. And so picking something, like Cam said, pick something that you're super passionate about and you're super into, and learn about it, immerse yourself in it, become it, find a mentor, find an apprenticeship, find some way that you could just immerse yourself in your passion, so that it doesn't even feel like learning. It just feels like you're just doing what you want to do. Like you wake up in the morning and you go at it all day. Maybe it's music for you. Okay. You get up, you do music all day, and then you go to sleep and you dream about music all night. And then you wake up and you do music all day again. When you find that passion, when you find what it is that you love to do, it just makes sense for everything. So like, you can go about your day doing what you love, learning, growing every single day constantly. And it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like a pain in the ass. It just feels like something that you would do anyways. It's like, if I were to ask you right now, if money wasn't an issue, if your family wasn't an issue, if, you know, where you live, all the things, if none of that was an issue, what would you do all day, every day for fun? What would you do all day, every day in service? Like, there's two things that I think of all the time. It's my passion and my purpose. My passion is, I love to make people smile. I love music. I love learning. I love growing. I love sharing that with you guys. I love networking. I love groups. I love chatting. I love parties. I love, you know, just getting together with people and talking and learning. And I said learning so many times because I love learning. And then what's your purpose in life? My purpose is to put a smile on people's faces, to share that with people, to help people grow, to help people, I always like to say I love to blow people's minds. And the reason I say that is because when I found out all this personal development material, when I went from being a know-it-all to I don't know shit, like when I made that shift, it blew my mind, man. It's like every single day I was passionate to wake up and learn, because I knew there was this whole world out there that I knew nothing about that I could discover. It's like when I first found music, it was like, you're never going to run out of music to listen to. You're never going to run out of instruments to play or things to try. There's just so much out there to do. It's like an ocean of knowledge, an ocean of fun, an ocean of passion. When you could find that, what it is for yourself, for some people, it's like, it's health, right? Like some people it's exercise, it's fitness. For other people, it's like nutrition. For other people, it's like biology. For some people, it may be history. Other people, it could be sports. For other people, it could be politics or math or whatever. I just know for me personally, it's music and meaning. I call it meaning because like it's my message. It's stuff that means a lot to me. It's stuff that I learn and I could share that with people. And it just, that's what I found that helps me personally to break through the know-it-all syndrome and finally like grow every day. The thing is, the difference between the master and the student is the master sees itself as a student. Do you know what I mean, Cam? The master is, and the student sometimes sees itself as the master. Do you know what I mean? The master is only the master because the master is always willing and always open to learn and always growing and lives by the philosophy of constant, never-ending improvement. The training never stops. The master doesn't say, oh, I'm the master now, so I'm just going to sit back and chill and I'm going to be okay and I'm just going to be good. But what happens is the student, or the poor student rather, says, okay, well, you know, I've been studying for an hour, I've been studying for 2 hours, or I've been practicing for this long, I'm going to take a break now, or I'm going to chill, or I'm going to go do something else to recharge, or I'm going to go over here, whatever. And the thing about the master is the master doesn't need breaks. It doesn't need time to recharge, because the master, what the master is doing, charges him, charges her. Do you know what I mean? It's like studying, learning, growing, practicing, all these things give them energy. It gives them passion. It fuels them to go through their day and do more, be more, create more, have more, share more. And that's what makes the difference between somebody who's master and learning every day and enjoying their life and loving it, and somebody who thinks they're a know-it-all, and then they get stuck in this rut of like, okay, I'm doing the same things over and over again. I'm in the same pattern. I'm just repeating the same stuff. It sucks, man. sucks because I've been there, dude. I've been there. It totally sucks. And I'm not even saying myself as a master. I'm saying I'm the student, dude. Every single day I want to learn. I want to grow. I get on the show because I want to share the stuff that I'm learning every single day. I get on the show. This what I'm talking about today, this know-it-all syndrome, is something I wrote about in the book today. It's something that I watched YouTube videos on and I read on and I thought about and I pondered before I got on this podcast to share it, because it's something that's going on in my life right now that I'd love to share and to engage in with you guys, because I don't want this to just be a conversation or something that I learn myself and I keep to myself. I want it to be something that I share, and then maybe you agree and you have something to add, or maybe you disagree and you have something you could show me or teach me, and then I learn. So it all turns out good. One sec, Cam, go ahead. Cam, when I leave, you can't just sit there in silence. You got to say something, okay? I'm dealing with dog troubles here, okay? She keeps on barking. People keep coming to the door. My face is red. Go ahead, Cam. Take it away.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. See, I'm the one running the stream. This guy expects me to do it all. Look, I know I can't be a know-it-all, but I can't be a do-it-all either. So I guess that's another thing, man. Don't try and do everything. Like, we try to learn everything, and we also try to do everything. And I'm guilty of this because I would want to have a billion friends, and I would try my best to like talk to every person daily and try and like keep these friendships alive. I would try to run 5 YouTube channels. All these things. I would try and do so many things at a time. And that's the same thing with know-it-all. You can't learn so many different things at a time, and you can't do so many things at a time. Like, the way I think about it, I wrote it in the book also, is like, imagine you have 50 fires to tend to, like 50 campfires in a field. You have to run to each one of them and like make sure they're all lit and it's all good and it's raining. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, it's tough. It's not easy. It's stressful. It's possible, but it's stressful, and you don't want to live that kind of life. And Brennan is gone again. So, when it comes to know-it-all, I guess, like, the first step is to obviously understand that you don't know it all. I don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. And I'm out of focus. But the first step is to become aware of the fact that you don't know it all. Second step is to find out what you want to learn and be happy about it.
Oh,
Brennan, what's wrong, Brennan?
Literally, dude, we're in the middle of this live show on Facebook. I got like 3-4 people come to my door. Like, and the dog's freaking out because she's a guard dog, and she's like, "Oh, who's at the door?" Ruff, 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 ruff. And I'm just like scrambling, trying to talk about this and trying to get this dog under control. And everybody's coming to my door asking for ponchos. I'm like, "What do you call? I don't have ponchos. Why are you at my house looking for ponchos?" Anyways, yeah, Cam, where were we, buddy, guy?
See, I don't even know.
Hey, this actually relates to the know-it-all syndrome. See, it relates because you got to be open and willing and available to adapt to whatever's going to happen, because things are going to happen, man. People are going to show up to your door. They're going to think you're handing out ponchos, even though you're not handing out ponchos. Your dog's going to flip out, right? Your mom's going to get mad at you. Your girlfriend, boyfriend's going to leave you. Your house is going to burn down. Things are going to happen. But if you're open and willing and available to adapt and learn from that situation, so what happens with the know-it-all is stuff happens, and the know-it-all thinks, "Oh, this stuff's all happening to me. Oh, life's happening to me. Bad things are happening to me." And what happens with somebody who's not a know-it-all, or somebody, the master, the learner, whatever you want to call it, they realize that these things are happening for them, and they can learn and grow from these experiences. And it doesn't have to be a negative experience. Like, I learned from these poncho buying people. I learned from this dog on my shoulders. Right? You got anything to add to that, Dia? Go ahead. Take it away. Dog of very few words. I feel bad for iTunes listeners because they don't see the video, so they don't see all the crazy stuff that goes on the live videos.
Yeah, no, they're lucky.
Anyways, where do you want to continue with this? We got any questions in the comment section? Because I would love to answer some questions. We got Destiny in here is asking how old we are. I'm 22. Cams, what are you? 18? Yeah.
Could you not ask that question? I feel like I'm your brother. You should know how old I am.
I know how old you are, Cam, but like, I don't want to just like, say it for you. I could tell your entire life story. I know your life story, Cam. Hi, my name's Cam. I was born in
You know
1980,
nothing. You know nothing.
1998. Anyways, yeah, let's see if anybody has some comments or questions or anything in the comment section related to this. That's what I'm talking about. But in the meantime, I want to ask um, also if you guys have any ideas for future episodes and stuff, throw that in the comment section below because we're always looking for new things to talk about, new things to learn about, new things to share. And yeah, do it. Do it.
I agree.
You agree. All right. So another thing I want to talk about related to the know-it-all syndrome is we already talked about kind of having an open mind. But I really want to talk about also a little bit of self-awareness and knowing who you are and what you want in life, because it's going to be different for everybody, obviously, but you're going to want to know yourself, man. Like, do some self-discovery. I mean, we had Kyle in here a couple of days ago, or was it last week, Kyle, and like he was saying, he's like, man, you got to stand in the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself some serious questions and get to know yourself. Because that's the only way you're going to know what direction you want to go in or what you want to learn in life. Because like we said earlier, when it comes to learning, there's unlimited amount of information out there right now. You could learn just about anything on any topic on Google. Like you could Google it, you could YouTube it, you could go to school for it, and school is getting cheaper and cheaper. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years you go to the post-secondary school for free. There's so many different things you could do, but if you don't know what you want and who you are, then it's so easy for your parents or your loved ones or somebody who really cares about you, or maybe somebody who doesn't care about you. It's so easy for other people to push you in a certain direction. And look, I've seen this with a lot of people who I grew up and went to school with, where their parents or the guidance counselor or somebody at school pushed them into a certain direction. They said, oh, you don't know what you want to do in life. Okay, well then why don't you just go to school to be a doctor? You don't know what you want to do in life. Why don't you just go to school and, learn to be an accountant? Oh, you don't know what you want to do in life. Why not just go be a nurse or learn about this or learn about that? And then they push them in this direction. And because that person's so uncertain about what they want to do in life, they just kind of go with it. And then they end up spending years and years and years learning about something they don't want. And they're sitting in class and they're staring at the clock, waiting for another 2 minutes to go by so that the class is over so they could get out of there and go on and move on with their lives, instead of living life in the sense where, you wake up and you just want to go. You just you have to go and learn, or you have to go and do something, play music, learn about being a doctor, learn about biology, whatever it is that you love to do. And then time just flies in that sense. You know what I'm talking about, Cam? Have you experienced this where it's like you're in class or you're somewhere trying to learn something, but you're just not interested in it? It's just not something you're truly passionate or love to do. And so time just lasts forever and time just stops. And then you had the opposite where you are into something that you're super into and you can't get yourself away from it because you're so attached and you just want to learn and grow so much.
Yeah, one of my friends came to me and I was surprised. She was like, hey, I'm in university and I keep skipping out on my classes and I'm really unhappy with my current life situation, and I'm scared because my entire life I worked towards going to university. Everybody around me was so proud of me because I'm in university, and now I'm sabotaging myself because I really, really don't like it. And that right there is just a case of not believing in yourself and maybe even not knowing what you truly want. I asked her the question simple: if nothing was an issue, like you said, Brennan, if money wasn't an issue, if you can get the ideal career path no matter what, life's golden ticket, it's a wish, 100% will come true, what do you want to do? She said, I want to be a singer. It's go do that. What are you doing? You can work a crappy job, you can live in a crappy apartment, but still be way happier because you're not in university and you're singing every day. You're not you're not disappointed in yourself. You're not letting other people down. You're just doing your own thing. And the way I suggest is do meditation. You know how you said time in class could feel like forever? Well, 2 hours of meditation feels like a 24-hour meditation. Like, it's ridiculous. I've lived like at least 3 extra days in the last couple days just because of the amount I've meditated. Just because, like, it slows down time by at least 9 times. It's insane. So, and you get to spend time with yourself. There's no technology stimulating your brain 24/7. You finally get a moment to sit down in a room alone. And spiritual teachers, like leaders and philosophers, have been saying this for tens of thousands of years, the value of meditation. And I really don't think 20 minutes of a guided gratitude meditation does it. Honestly, you need to take the headphones out, turn a fan on, light a candle, light some incense, and just sit there in silence. Don't listen to music. Don't listen to guided BS. And we're going to talk about meditation more once I am a little bit more experienced and I read a little bit more on the subject, because I want to be able to bring you guys like the comprehensive episode on meditation so that you guys can get everything you need to know about it. But I highly suggest it, straight up.
Straight up, highly suggested. You keep telling me you're not going to talk about meditation, and then you go off on this meditation, man. You guys got to do it. 2 hours a day. 2 hours. Turn off the lights. Meditate.
Well, dude, it's like a solution to so much.
Yeah, no, it totally is, man. It really helps you get that presence. That's what I think about meditation so much. It's just presence and focus. If you have trouble focusing, meditate. If you have trouble, living in the present moment, or, problems with the past, problems with the future, you got anxiety, stress, depression, overwhelm, all that stuff meditation could be beneficial to eliminating all of that, and helping you just cope and manage your emotions and thoughts, man. So that's why it's so important. That's why we keep on talking about meditation, because we could literally talk about meditation all day. I know you can, at least. You can meditate all day. Anyways, okay, I say we leave it at that, man. There's a lot here. There's a lot going on. There's dogs. There's people knocking on the doors. They were talking about meditation and learning and growing and like forgetting what you know and just being open-minded. And there's so many things that go into becoming your greatest version that we could not possibly talk about it all on one podcast episode. And that's why we do one of these like 5 days a week. There's an episode on implicit empowerment. So thank you guys. I just got to say thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being open to learn like from us and with us. I don't even want to say from us. I want to say with us, because we do this podcast to kind of bring you along the journey of our experience through our stories, through what we're learning right now, through all this stuff. I mean, it's just something like me and Cam are so passionate about, man. Like if we weren't doing this podcast, we'd probably still be reading all these books. We'd still be watching all these videos. We'd still be trying all these meditations and weird habits and new things, because it's just something we're super passionate about. And I feel like so damn blessed to be able to share this with you guys in a day and age where, like, dude, we got cell phones and computers, and like I'm live on Facebook and I got like 10, 11, 12 of my friends who are watching me live right now, engaging in this conversation. We got hundreds of listeners on iTunes and YouTube and SoundCloud, and it's amazing. It blows my mind, and I'm so happy and grateful. So thank you. Go out there and learn something new today. Do it. It's worth it.
And we're gonna roll the outro. Bro, that should have been the outro. That would have been like the perfect outro.
I thought it was.
Well, tell me to play the music, man. Okay, so like you said, we are so grateful for you guys tuning in. And I think you guys should be extremely grateful. This sounds arrogant, but you guys are learning so much just by watching this. You're getting so much information, not because we're smart, just because we're like gathering it for you and handing it over to you in this podcast. And that's basically what we do all day. Like I'm reading, I'm listening to videos, I'm watching videos, I'm meditating. Like I'm doing everything I can to bring some good information to you guys. So I really hope it works. And if it does, let us know.